Hello everyone, I'm Alfian and today we are going to solve the HackerRank challenge on the problem solving section called the sequence equation. And for this particular challenge, we are using TypeScript as our language. If you want to use something else other than TypeScript or JavaScript, then go ahead, I encourage you to do so. And for this particular challenge, we have the function called the permutation equation, which is from the sequence equation challenge. We have the value of p, which is in a form of number array, and the expected output is in a form of number array. And the description says given a sequence of n integers p1, p2, and so on and so forth until p of the number where each element is distinct and satisfies one of the p and x, and it is inclusive between 1 to certain number of n. For each x where 1 is x, and also inclusive number between 1 to certain number, that is x increments from 1 to n, to find any integer y such as p, which is our position, and wrap it in another position with the y, and it is equals to the x, which is the index, I believe, and keep a history of the values of y in a return array. Honestly, I don't understand what it means, but let's push ahead. We have the example right here, and maybe we can get the better idea from this example of the each value of x between 1 to 9. The length of the sequence is analyzed as follow, which is x1 is equals to the position 3. Since we believe that we are starting from the 1 to 5, if we happen to look for number 1, which is on the position 3 as stated right here in the array, we have 1 on the position 3, and after we got the 1 as the position 3, we have that position 3. We can use the number of 3. Then we need to find where is the position, which position is 3 on. So 3 is in the position 4, which is stated right here. Then I don't know what this means by position with the position 4 is equals to 1, back to 1. So it is for this last statement, for this so right here, which is p4 is equals to the 1, which is back to the first part. It is equals that the position 4 is wrapped in another position is equals to 1. So in other words, we are calculating 1, and since 1 is on the position 3, then we need to use that position number, and then we need to find that 3. So 3 is in the position 4, then the answer is 1. So x is equals to 1, and that x is equals to p in the brackets, another p brackets of position 4. And the same thing with the point 2 right here. We have 2. Since 2 is in the position 2, then we need to find the another 2, which where is it placed. So 2 is also position on the 2, then we have the answer of 2. For the number 3, we need to find 3, which position is 3 in. The 3 is in the position 4, so we need to find the number 4 where 4 is located. So 4 is on the position 5, so position 5 is equals to the 3, and it also applies to the position 4, number 4, and then number 5, which is on the position 3, and 4 is on the position 1. And we have the answer of y is equals to the 4, 2, 5, 1, and 3. As you notice that this is the exact answer that we need to follow based on the array of the y right here. Then we need to use this one of the array of numbers 4, 2, 5, 1, and then 3. So if you still don't get it, then I hope you're still following this video. And for this function description, complete the permutation equation function in the editor below. Like I already described, that permutation equation has the following parameters, which is p array, which in a form of array of integers, and we need to return the values of y in all x in the arithmetic sequence of inclusive 1 to n. And it's basically it. And we have the sample output 0. We have the, let's say we need to find the x of 1, which is we are iterating from the number 1, 2, and 3 like usual, and we need to find 1 where 1 is located. 1 is in the position 3, and then we need to use that number of that position in order to find the next position where 3 is located. 3 is located on the position 2. So the answer of the y is 2, and the next one, which is 2, where 2 is placed on the position 1, and then we need to use that position to find another position where number 1 is located. Number 1 is located on the position 3, so we have the value of y is 3, and for the 3 right here, we have 3 on the position 2, where 2 is located. 2 is on the position 1, so we need to return y as 1. So the returning array is supposed to be 2, 3, and 1, and the sample input and the sample output is the same thing. This is the input array, and this is the y array of the output. And for the sample input 1 right here, without the mathematical formula, we can just define as simple as, let's say we need to find the 4. We need to find the position 1. So 1 is in the position 4. 1 is in the position 4, and we need to find where is position 4. 4 is in the position 1, so we need to answer 1. And for the next one, we have the value of 2. We need to find the x number, find the y number based on the x, since x is also a sequence from 1 to based on the length of the sample input, which is 5. Then we need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 based on the x right here. So 2 right here, where 2 is located. 2 is located on the position 5. Then we need to write 5. Then where we should find the 5? 5 is on the position 3. And for the next one, for the number 3, where the 3 is located, 3 is on the position 2, so we have to write 2. And where 2 is located, 2 is located on the position 5. And for the next one, which is number 4, number 4 is on the position 1. And next one, where 1 is located, 1 is located on the position 4. And lastly, which is x is equal to 5, where 5 is located, 5 is located on the position 3. And where 3 is located, 3 is on the position 2. So we need to return this y sequence 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, and 2 as the final answer. So as you notice that my answer is the same thing as the sample output 1. So how do we convert this from the function, from our raw implementation based on the already described from the doodle, into the function using the number array? So we need to write our code to implement this. We need to map this first based on the index of the number. So let's follow this tutorial, what I'm going to tell you. By implementing the first one, we need to implement the constant of the map of the Hashmap. Then we need to declare the type of the map as the map. Then we need to declare the type as the number of the key value pair number, and the value is also a number. It is the same as integer. And we need to declare a new constructor of the map, which is a Hashmap. And for the next one, we need to iterate over the p array based on the parameter right here in order to assign or address every number in the array into a map. So we can use the for loop, simply let I is equals to 0 as long as I is below the p, the dot length property, and then I plus plus. But since the each value of the x between 1 to 5, and we already defined we need to consider that the arithmetic sequence is supposed to be 1 to n. Then we need to convert this I into 1, and then I is not below but below or equals to the p dot length, which is the length of the array, which is, let's say if we have 5 elements of array, then the length property should take a number of 5. Then we need to store the key value pair. The key is supposed to be the each element of the p, and the value is the number of index that they are on. So we need to use the Map.set, and we can use the set based on the p of the I and then this is the key, and the I is the value. Why the value is as the X is because we need to reference the X number based on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the value. So if we happen to find the key, we can just search for the key based on the reference from the P, and we can just get the position as the X position. So in order to get the Y position as the final array or the final answer, and then we can use the console.log. For now, we can see what is inside the map that we already implemented. So for the return, we can return the empty array as for now. To fulfill the number array, we can just simply return 0 as for now of the array 0, and we can just run the code. And we have the map of the debug output. We have the undefined as the key, and we have the value as the 3. So the value is as sequence 1, 2, and 3, but the key is undefined. It is supposed to be 2, 3, and 1 based on the sequence of the for loop, but this one is printing 3, 1, and then undefined. Is because we are misaligned this by 1. And then for 3, 5, 1, and 2, then we are storing only 3, 5, 1, and 2 without 4, and this is undefined because we are slightly off by 1 index, but the value is already in sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So we need to fix this. For this one, we need to use the I -1 or subtracted by 1 is because from the I right here, we need to reference the index not starting from 1 but starting from 0 because we are working with array. So let's run the code again to properly align this Hashmap, and we have the key, which is the based on the position of 2. We have the 3 on the position 2, and 1 is on the position 3, and it is already properly aligned. So we need to move on the next phase, which is using the constant. We need to declare a constant of the start phase array. We can declare this as an array, can declare as the empty array. And for the next one, we need to use the for loop in order to find the position of the P3, P2, P4, P5, and P1. We need to address these numbers 3, 2, 4, 5, 1 in order to get the final phase. So using the for loop, using the for let I is equals to 0 as long as I is below the map. Using the map, we need to iterate over the map Hashmap using the map.size, not map.length, because we are working with Hashmap as of right now, and then I++. And then for the next one, we need to store values based on the sorted keys. We can use the start phase. We need to store those keys into our start phase array, start phase.push, and we can get the array using the Map.get inside the argument of the push method right here. We can use the get Map.get, and we need to get the based on the sorted keys. We can use the I in order to get the sorted keys. So let's say we already have the 4, 3, 5, 1, and 2. So these are the keys before the arrow sign. 4, 3, 5, 1, and 2. Remember? Then we need to store the keys, store the values based on the keys, based on the sorted keys. So we need to store the 1 first, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And that way we can get the stored values as 4, 5 based on the sorted keys, 1, 2, 3, 5. So we are basically storing 4, 5, 2, 1, and finally 3. That way we can get its position on the first phase or the starting phase. We can use the Map.get using the I, but then since I is equal 0, then it is going to be misaligned by 1 because all of the keys are always starting from 1 instead of 0. How do we fix this? Is by either keeping the I as equals to 0, and then you can use the I plus 1, so we can get the sequence starting from 1 using the map.get, 1, 2 for the next iteration, 2 next iteration, 3, 4, and then finally 5 map.get of the 5 as the argument. Either that or by using the I is equals to 1 as long as I is below or equals to the map.size, and then I plus plus, and then the map.get is going to be like this, I without the plus 1. And since we are working with TypeScript, then we need to cover the get method, because the TypeScript will not consider the get as the exact number, because it is possible to be number or undefined. So we need to assign the non-null assertion operator using the exclamation mark after the get method. So we are already sure that this map.get method is not going to be null or undefined, because from the assignment from the previous Hashmap. Then we need to use the console.log again, console.log of the start phase, and we can just comment out our map Hashmap. Then we can run our code again, and we have the debug output of the 3, 2, and 1. And as you notice that this starting phase array, we have 3, 1, and 2. It is the same array sequence as this sequence of the position, its position. We have the 3, 1, and finally 2. They are all the same thing based on the first base array, 3, 1, and 2. If you already notice it, it is the same thing as that we are currently working on. And for the sample output 1, we don't have the explanation, because explanation is on the test case 0, but you will get the idea as we working on through our code. And since we already got the first positions on every elements, then we can utilize the starting phase array as our final phase. We can use the constant of the final phase array, can declare this as the empty array, and finally we can return, instead of 0 placeholder, we can return our final phase array. And for the next one, we need to use the for loop again, for loop which we have 3 phases. The first one is defining or addressing using the map or the Hashmap, and the second one we need to declare its positions based on the X, and we need to store it as the start phase, and the final pass is the calculating the final phase array using the for let I is equals to 0 as long as I is below the start phase dot length, and then I plus plus. And we can use the final phase push every element into the final phase array, and we can just define and just construct our final array using the previous array elements from the start phase, and that way we can find the value based on the Hashmap from the starting phase array. We can use the start phase, not start phase, but the map.get again. We can search through the Hashmap. We can use the map.get by using the start phase and use the current index, and the map.get, don't forget to insert the exclamation mark as non-null assertion, because we are sure that this number map.get is not going to be undefined. So we can run our code again to see if it works, and we can just delete our debug output, but for now I'm going to explain the debug output. So let's say we have the input of the 4, 3, 5, 1, and 2. So in order to get these first base elements, we have the 4. We need to find the 1 first. 1 is in the position 4. Then we need to assign the position 4 as the starting phase. And the next one, we need to find 2. Where 2 is located? 2 is located on the position 5. So 5 is assigned. And then where we find the number 3. 3 is on the position 2, so we need to assign 2 right here. What about the 4? Number 4 is on the position 1, then we assign 1. And then finally number 5. 5 is on the position 3. So this is the sequence from the starting array. And finally the final array that we already solved right here is from these positions based on the hash map that we already created prior to this challenge. So we are just basically finding 4 where 4 is located. 4 is located on the position 1, and 5 is on the position 3, and 2 is on the position 5, like from this output right here. And 1, since 1 is, we already addressed this in a map, 1 is on the position 4, then 1 will be stated as the position 4. Then we assign the 4 as the position number right here. And finally 3 is on the position 2, then position 2 is placed number 2 as the position will be placed as the expected output. So we got our answer after all. So we can just comment this out and let's submit this to see if it really works. Okay, so that's about it. I hope you understand my explanation. If you still don't understand, you can ask me in the comment section, or if you have any better solutions regarding this challenge, tell us what you think in the comment section. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.